So if someone were to shoot the person that you're protecting, are you expected to take the bullet?
That is under the assumption that you see someone about to shoot them and then you kind of run in front of it. But yeah, but if you're at that point, you've done something terribly, terribly wrong in preparation for it.
John, how long have you been a bodyguard for?
So I was in executive protection for about 3.5 to 4 years.
And what kind of people did you protect?
all all sorts of people, all of them very high net worth individuals. So people from tech CEOs to actors and actresses to media moguls.
How long did you protect these individuals for?
There's always one that I had for like the entire 3.5 to 4 years. That was considered like my main principle. But then I would provide coverage and services for multiple other individuals from doing stuff at their home as well as what we would call field detail. And that was just literally anytime they had some sort of public appearance or they went to a public place. Sometimes these field details could be a week long where you're going with them on vacation. And then some of the shorter ones were literally like just a few hours.
What's the difference in terms of coverage between home protection and a field appearance?
Most often with like home protection, they don't necessarily want to see you there in your life and in their life in the kitchen, everything like that. So you're usually in a separated room. As you can imagine, a lot of these people have massive properties as opposed to just a single home. So you're providing coverage in, scanning cameras, looking at the entire property as opposed to just this one individual. So that could also mean, providing services for their entire family as well. So there's a lot going on. It's being stationary within that property. At a field detail, you generally have less experience with that area that you're going to be in, and that's also when body coverage comes into play. So that means you'll be going to get the individual from their dressing room, their car, from wherever is like considered the safe spot, and then you'll be walking them to wherever they need to be or walking with them throughout the entire event. So it's a lot more moving around, having to be a lot more vigilant in the sense that you are interacting with public individuals, like the general public. I mean, there's difference in the gear that you wear as well, depending on the field detail. You could be in, suited up with a black tie to, wearing cargo pants if like you're going off on like a safari or something like that with an individual. Whereas when you're at their home, it's generally the same style of in clothing that you're wearing. You want to kind of be consistent, which is usually kind of jeans or slacks and like just a simple button up that you would be wearing, something enough that could cover all of the gear that you are wearing.
What kind of equipment do you arm yourself with?
Generally, some sort of PPE so that if you're in some sort of medical situation, you can respond accordingly, especially if it's one where you're needing to provide CPR. We had a flashlight on our belt at all times, handcuffs, as well as pepper spray. And depending on the environment that you're in, you would carry a sidearm.
What are you constantly thinking? What are you kind of scanning for?
It's just anything that looks irregular, out of the norm. And after doing it for a while, you can kind of tell there's different cues that people can give off that can make you feel uneasy. And, I think the important thing is if you feel uneasy, do something about it. Trust your gut. Do something that will make you feel less uneasy, whether that's completely removing someone from the situation, doubling back. And one of the most important things is the preparation before even getting there. So doing what can be called like an advance. So going to the event, going to the site, going to the location prior, and just feeling it all out, getting the lay of the land, understanding the route that you're going to be walking, understanding the location this person is going to be at, understanding, the stage, where they could be getting on the stage, understanding where the bathrooms are at, understanding where a fire extinguisher are at, where an AED is at, really understanding and knowing where all of that is at, and being prepared for as many situations as you can possibly be prepared for. Obviously, the most common ones will be like, oh crap, I need a bathroom as I'm walking somewhere. So it's like, oh, I know where this is at. I've walked this tunnel. I've walked this route so many times. You can be like, oh yeah, it's just 50 feet up on the left, or oh, the closest one's actually around the corner from us behind us. So a lot of it is preparation. If you are prepared, you're going to be in a much, much better situation to be able to handle any unknowns that come up than if you just kind of show up and wing it.
What was the most memorable protection experience?
The most memorable experience was a time that, let's call it protecting an item when I was in London. So it was like a week long event that I was responsible for this item, and it involved a lot of cool situations and scenarios involving me getting on and off in an amphibious watercraft, on and in and out of moving vehicles, taking it from one location to the next. That thing didn't leave my side the entire time. So like even in the hotel room, it would be in there with me. If I wanted to go down to the lobby or something like that, I would call up the other guy that I was with, take it to his room, and then go to the lobby or do something like that. So it was a very heavily guarded item, and it put me in a lot of cool situations and experiences that I know for a fact I wouldn't be a part of in other things.
What would you say are the pros and cons of being in executive protection?
Yeah. Pros, you get to see a lot that you wouldn't get to see or experience. You get to see art that you've never seen. You get to see art, cars that you've never seen. You get to be on properties that you never thought you would ever be able to be on. You get to go places because you're traveling as they're traveling. So racking up frequent flyer miles was amazing, being able to do all of that. But then the cons are your schedule is changing all the time. I don't sometimes you're getting a call and be like, hey, you've got to be in Germany in the next 16 hours. So you're grabbing a bag and going. So that meant missing holidays, having to cancel plans, missing birthdays, having to cancel trips. If you're trying to like settle down and have a little bit more stability, then that may not be the the life for you.